Hey, what's up? Back with another video, and I got some new stuff to show you. Hey, so right off the bat, you might already be seeing some differences, and that's because I'm sitting a set of black R3 Recaros instead of the red Spirit R ones that you're used to seeing. And no, I didn't get rid of the Spirit R ones, and no, I didn't get R3 seats to replace them, but this is a completely different car. It is still an RX-8. It is an R3, but it's not the R3 that I've been daily driving for the past 3.5 years now. Instead, I bought another RX-8 R3, so now I have two. And right now, I'm going on base to do some basic maintenance stuff and compression tests to see where it's at, because no, I don't compression test my rotaries before I buy them. I just buy them and make sure they hot start, and that's good enough for me, because I really don't give a shit. I mean, I do give a shit, but like, I don't need to do a compression test to know that an engine is okay for whatever amount of time. This one, I'll go over specific details of why I bought it, even though I already have an R3, but the main points is exterior condition, kind of interior condition. This interior is really fucking clean. I'm very happy about that. I wasn't expecting it to be as clean as it is, but very happy that it's a super clean interior. The exterior, the paint isn't exactly as I hoped it would be, but you know, the overall condition of the exterior is what I wanted. That's the main points. Also, this is a 101,000 miles on the car. From what the seller told me, there's about 55 or so thousand miles on the engine itself. He has no paperwork to show that the engine is ever replaced, but again, I really don't care, because the engine hot starts fine, and that's all that matters to me. It is weird driving this car with a stock flywheel, because I'm really not used to stock flywheels anymore. In my my high mile R3, or the old R3, I have a Racing Beat aluminum 8-pound flywheel, and in the SA I have a 9-pound aluminum flywheel. I believe the brand is American Clutches. That's what it says on it, except I can't find any details on that company. But I have it. It's in the car. It works great, and I love driving with it. Stock flywheel, well, it's not bad. I mean, this is the lightest production flywheel that ever came on a rotary engine, but still, I have a little bit of issues driving with it. But that also may have to do with a clutch engagement issue from a not so well blade clutch line. It's gotten better over the past few weeks that I've had the car, but still the issue's there, and my shifts aren't, you know, as good as they could be. Good, I seem to be shifting fine now, which is new for me. My gravity bled itself. Kind of rambling on there, but point is, I'm not used to stock flywheels. I don't like those, and I'll have another one going in this car pretty soon with a new OEM clutch. Okay, so here is the car. It's a little bit dirty from it snowing and stuff like that, and well, it does the same thing as normal Utah rain, where you know, water spots and stuff like that get all over it, because we have a really nasty dirt rain problem. But yes, this is a completely bone stock RX-8 R3. It's a 2009. The other one is 2010. And under the hood, no hood prop. Oh, there's a hood prop, but like I don't have the gas shocks and stuff like that. But yeah, all bone stock under here. Stock intake, stock exhaust system, stock everything. Oh, the headlights are much better condition too. Let's lift it up. Okay, let's go over the underbody and just check stuff out under here. Because I looked under here before, but I didn't really get a really good look at it. So right off the bat, control arms are kind of rusty. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I could take the rear end out of the other car and swap it in here. We'll go over that stuff later. See the power plant frame, the diff housing. It's it's all rusty and stuff like that. This is not a factory catalytic converter, which I already knew that. I've seen these on here before, and it actually passed smog with this, so that's okay. Appears to have a bit of an oil leak. Not exactly from where, not exactly sure from where, but probably somewhere up in that area. That is not a factory oil filter. Some red paint there for some reason. Let's see, is this? Oh, yeah, I gotta go check the VIN again, but I don't think that's the same VIN as the car, so likely that this is not the same engine. What does this say? Oh, yeah. What is that? 402-524? 404-742. Oh, yeah, this isn't the original engine. Okay, so, yeah. The Series 2s have a VIN thing there and on the transmission as well. So, yeah, this is definitely not the original engine. So, the seller was not lying about that. There is no under tray. No bits for the under tray. It's all bare over here, which at least my my other R3 had the upright things over here, I think, and no, I think it did have the under tray. Whatever. The bumper is good. This section is good. All this splitter bits are good. These are fucking expensive individually. It's a 3-piece splitter, and that's really annoying because each of them is like 100 or like 130 for this piece, I think. But overall, everything looks pretty okay, aside from the rusty bits and whatever. I may replace the subframe because of the rust. There's a lot more rust than I thought under here, even on the shocks and stuff like that, and the knuckles and everything. Jesus. It's getting worse and worse the more I look at it. This could use replacing. But yeah, not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. Yeah, let's look over the body. Alright, so the factory undercoating looks to be pretty intact, so I'm not worried about like any rust damage from that. Look up in the wheel wells. The fender liners over here. The wheel well liners. But there's fender liners. It is missing the fender liners over here. It does have the back ones over there at least, which is good. Over here, it doesn't matter so much because all it's doing is flicking water and stuff into the oil coolers. So like free oil cooling, or extra oil cooling, I guess. Yeah, overall, not too bad. Okay, so just a little bit of what I'm doing. New plugs, new wires, new air filter for the intake, and of course oil change, and pressure test with a rotary compression tester from rotoricompressiontester.com. Basic stuff. Okay, so the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to take an oil sample, send it off to Blackstone Labs, just to see like what's going on inside this engine, because I don't know the mileage on the oil, the actual mileage on the engine itself. This just gives me a better idea of what's going on inside the engine, aside from compression numbers, which we'll get compression numbers in a bit, but I'm going to drain the oil right now, change that, and go from there. Okay, so got my oil sample, and also, I already knew this, but it's not a factory oil filter for a Series 2. Do not ever use anything but a factory Series 2 oil filter. Part number for that is right here. N3R1-14-302. This is the correct oil filter you should use on a Series 2 only. There's no improvement on any other ones or anything like that. Just go to Mazda, pay $10, $11 for what it costs for a new filter, and that's really all you need. Anyway, just gonna let this drain for a bit and then, well, go from there.
Okay, that's short now. Let's see what it does. Let's go over that. Alright, so raw numbers are 84, 86, 84, 83, 85, 83 for corrected. So that's actually not too bad. I was expecting it to be in the 70s. This is just the rear rotor. Oh damn, that's a really strong starter. 329 RPM. Of course, this is just the rear rotor. Let's go ahead and do another test because that may also have some extra fuel in there still. Okay, so now we are on to the front rotor. 88, 91, 81, 87, 90, 80. Okay, so it's a little more uneven on this one. I mean, there's like an exactly 10 psi difference between two of them. That could be for a number of reasons, like excessive carbon buildup or something like that on some of the seals. So some very thorough beating should help that, but these are actually pretty decent numbers. And this engine has quite a bit of life left in it too. So I'm not worried one bit about this engine. But of course this engine is going to stay in here, but you know, for the time being, it'll work just fine. All right, well that's done. It's probably gonna have a hard time cranking because the engine's dry. Oh, no, never mind. That worked perfectly. All right, and that's for ignition. Okay, so that code scanner is kind of weird. So I'm just gonna go ahead, drive around for a bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna drive around a bit. It'll either shut itself off or I'll just go to use theirs or something. Because I don't know if my code scanner works anymore or not, or maybe it's because because I use Mazda Edit for the other car, it just stopped working. But this car's running fine now, so not worried about that check engine light. I know exactly why it's there. Yeah, compression numbers were kind of what I was expecting, or maybe a little bit above. I was actually expecting like maybe high 70s or something like that, but not a single one was in the 70s when it corrected. So that's good. Now, where exactly it's leaking oil from, I don't know, because it's kind of up on the housings and stuff like that. You'd think it was like the rear main seal or something like that. Very well could be part of that, but why it's on like the housings and stuff like that, maybe overfilled oil, or probably like the oil filler neck thing, so for that is bad, or I don't know, it could be a number of things, but I'm really not worried about this engine, and it's not staying in here anyway, so whatever. Let's see, probably in a little bit I'll do a walk around out in the sun after washing this car because it's pretty dirty. And yeah, so far from what I can see, it actually drives a lot nicer. Still, that clutch engagement is a little weird, so it's not the easiest thing to drive for me, or maybe it's just I'm not used to the stock flywheel. Anyway, enough rambling on. We'll record more when I start doing stuff again. So it is a little bit dirty because it rained a bit, and I parked it under you know, cover and stuff like that, but still rain gets to it anyway, so I don't mind any of that. Yes, this is a 100% bone stock RX-8 R3, and it doesn't have that little dip on the quarter panel, and the paint is in much better condition, and it's, well, mostly original paint. Some parts have been repainted, which I later found out. I think this bumper might have been repainted. The rear bumper is definitely repainted. Has some weird wear on the clear coat on the hood, some scratches and stuff like that, probably from someone trying to scrape ice off of it. That's okay, I don't care. The roof also has some failing clear coat, and over here there's been some Bondo work done. And also, that's not original paint, that part's been repainted. But it is a really, really nice car otherwise, and has all four 19-inch BBS wheels,
which by the way just sold, and this is the last day that this car is going to have them on because they're going to be shipped out today. See, these did not come with the car. These I actually bought a while ago, put them on the other RX-8, and I just swapped them over. They're easy enough to pop on and off. So I need to figure out something to close that gap because I thought it was an issue with the other bumper, but you know, it's there on here too. So I got to figure that out. Maybe it's a mounting issue. So on the interior, don't mind the stuff that's in here, but it's a very, very clean interior. I was surprised at how clean this interior was. Door cards, really nice. A little bit dirty down here, but that's normal. Don't know what's going on there, but you know, maybe he can get that out. For some reason, it has a 5-speed shift knob, which, you know, the feel of the shift knob is great, but it's weird being a 5-speed in a 6-speed car. Oh, that's kind of dirty, but whatever. It's also kind of dirty too. I don't know what that's from. Probably spill of some sort. See, the driver's seat has some pretty significant wear, mostly right here and a little bit in the seat cushion here. That could probably be cleaned out, but this material right here needs to be replaced. Yeah. But overall, really clean interior. Now, you probably did notice that these are all missing. I have 7 out of 8 of them. There's a bowl there for some reason, and I do not know why. I'll show you under the hood. I'm still not used to having to use a hood prop, but this one I have to. Okay. So it is missing the 4-point strut bar, which comes stock on these. Looks like all the studs for those were snapped off, which I don't really care about. I actually have extras of these from the other car. But let's see, this engine is not original to the car. You know, I'll show you in another clip in a little bit when I'm changing the oil and spark plugs and stuff. This is after that was done. And also, there's a split in that line right there. That's why there's blue RTV on there, and it helps seal that up just fine. Yeah, bone stock, dirty, and this is a 51,000 mile pull out from another engine, and this was put in at 65,000 miles. Car's at 101,000 miles now. And starts up nice and easy. And when I did compression tests on this motor, it actually spun the motor at 329 RPM. The starter in my my 2010 R3, it doesn't spin that fast. It only spins at like 300, a little under, a little over, but you know, not 329 like this one does, which is kind of weird. But you know, really strong starters, gotta love them. Anyway, gotta load some wheels up because, you know, as I said, I am getting these wheels off, getting the tires off, and again, getting the wheels shipped out because those sold already. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so we're on our way over to the tire shop to, you know, get these tires dismounted and these regular 18-inch S2 wheels put on. I have some other wheels over there that I'm getting, I'll show you. I have the same wheels on the other RX-8, which you haven't seen on here yet. But if you're on my Facebook or Instagram, then you'll have seen that many times by now. Hey, so that looks really weird now that I'm looking at it from the side. Yeah, stock S2 18s on the front and brand new NK Rygens on the rear. Specs on these are 18 by 8.5 plus 38 with two 55/40 R18 tires. Let's see, and on this car, the rears are exactly the same Continental Extreme contacts, just you know, slightly used because those are brand new and these have been on this car. The fronts are the same, except these are 18 by 8 plus 40, and the tire size is 235/40 R18. Yeah, I just got these really cheap. That's the only reason I have them. See, as for the overall condition of this car, it's kind of beat. Last year, this car took a hell of a beating. right here, this is actually 2 separate events. And I also put a Maverick sticker on there just to fit it in there a little bit better. But let's see, first I was on the highway and I went into a spot of it that wasn't lit up at night, and I ran over a very massive piece of shredded semi tire. So that's what initially caused that damage. Then days later, I was just on my way to work, and then cat ran across the road, and then I hit it in this exact same spot. So this spot took a hell of a beating 2 times. All through there, it's all ripped. That's why there's zip ties, and well, that's kind of destroyed. It's just kind of on there to, you know, just be a filler, I guess. But yeah, this bumper took a hell of a beating. Also doesn't have fog lights anymore because I sold those. It has 2 different headlights on there. Well, they're the same headlights, just one painted, one not. Because that one got a lot of water in it and destroyed the LED light that was in there. So I just put a stock one on there. Well, an unpainted one, I should say. And there's that. Let's see, back here, well, it doesn't have the Mazda Speed diffuser on anymore. I still have it, but it's not on there because it got damaged. And the rear bumper got damaged, so I replaced that. See, over here, there's a dent there. That's new, as well as the damage in here in the quarter panel. And the it goes up into here. The door is kind of kinked in, this whole door jamb area. So you have to close the door kind of hard. There's also a little bit more of a gap there. And oh, there's a little bit of rust starting there now. That's nice. Now, as for the gap, I think I mentioned before, right here, this is what I'm talking about. So this quarter panel has always been sagged down just a little bit, and that wasn't because of this. That's completely separate. This is because this entire side panel was replaced from when this car was totaled and destroyed before I got it. And the collision shop I bought it from, they went to a junkyard and they replaced, I think, from this section around here all the way around, and this entire side panel over here. That's why, you know, over here it's kind of messed up. It's kind of in a little bit, and there's some damage on the fender and the door just from opening and closing, just that, you know, gap issue. See, both of these doors I took off of my other RX-8. That's why the color is different. This is stock paint. This is Mako shit paint. And let's see, what else? What else am I missing here? Oh, yeah, that also explains why the exhaust tips are uneven. So this one pretty much sits how it should. No issues there. But this one sits up higher because the whole side over here is down lower. So yeah, that's why that is. Also, when I go to wash this car, this taillight doesn't get any water in it because this is a, you know, Series 1 side. All the side panel stuff, this was all taken from Series 1. So the gasket for this side seals just fine, but on this side, this is still Series 2. So every time I wash the car, it gets water inside of here, and it's really annoying. I either have to dry the taillight out or switch it out and let the other one air dry. Let's see, I did go to the junkyard and get a R3 spoiler. So it actually has an R3 spoiler on for once instead of the stock S1 GT spoiler. And now I have 2 because there's an R3 over there now. Let's see, the interior is really, really dirty on this. So there's like dog hair and, you know, shit from my boots and stuff like that. But really dusty. I really got to clean this fucking interior and these seats. My daughter spilled some stuff in the seat, so there's stains on there. So I got to get this detailed. And all this interior is actually coming out of this car and getting switched out with S1 GT black leather interior. Of course, that assumes that it's still there in the junkyard. That was like a week ago when I went to look at it. But if it's still there when I go to get it, then that's what'll be going in this car. If not, then I'll just go to one of the other junkyards with RX-8s and a full interior and just pull that. So anyway, this is getting regular interior, and yeah. See, as I said before, everything that's in this car is going to be taken out and then switched over to that car. That also includes the engine. So the engine from that car is going to go in this car, and then it's going to be sold to my friend. And then yeah, so intake, exhaust, engine, suspension, all the little Mazda speed bits, and all the little bolt-on bits that I put on it. That car is going to be an exact replica of this car, except it's going to be like nice and stuff. This is kind of just not. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the RX-8 updates for now. There are more to come. There's been more stuff that's been done since those last clips and stuff like that, but for now, that's it. Last 6 months, I haven't uploaded anything, just mainly because I've been dealing with a lot of, well, just regular life stuff, working a lot of hours, way too many hours, no real time to myself to really do anything other than eat, sleep, shit, and work. And, sometimes not in that order, sometimes all at the same time. It depends on the day, and some days are just really, really shitty, and it just be like that sometimes. But, it's getting a lot better. Things are getting on track. I have a lot more time to myself during the week. And, well, should be seeing more videos coming out pretty soon. And my dog is whining because he wants to go out and shit. So I'm going to go do that now. Anyway, see you guys. Have a good night or day or whatever time of day it is you're watching this. See ya.